The government's news portal reports that last week, Sri Lanka voted in favour of a resolution on the moratorium on the use of the death penalty during the 73rd United Nations General Assembly plenary sessions. According to the article, the UN General Assembly adopted the draft resolution on the December 17th by a recorded vote of 121 in favour to 35 against, with 32 abstentions, and this resolution was proposed by Brazil on behalf of an inter-regional task force of member states and co-sponsored by 83 states. It further reads that the UN in a statement said that, quote, it called on all states to respect international standards on the rights of those facing the death penalty and ensure that the practice is not applied on the basis of discriminatory laws or as a result of discriminatory or arbitrary application of the law, unquote. Interestingly, this move by Sri Lanka to endorse the moratorium on the use of death penalty comes into effect in a backdrop where President Maithripala Sirisena emphasized the necessity to implement the death sentence on the convicted drug dealers who continued drug trafficking in the country from within prisons. During yesterday's cabinet meeting, we discussed about drugs. With the experience of the last few years, we know that a lot of drug traffickers are currently in jail under death penalty. However, some of them, even being inside jail, continue to engage in trafficking. Therefore, I suggested the cabinet, although there could be different arguments under Buddhism, to sign the death penalty to such traffickers. I think it won't be a sinful deed, and I informed my decision to put my signature to impose death penalty on such criminals. We see this situation can't be cured without proper punishments. The President later appointed a committee to look into that proposal. However, President's insistence on the decision of imposing the death penalty was met with human rights entities in the country, including Amnesty International in Sri Lanka, who issuing a statement said, quote, Sri Lanka must pull back from any plans to implement the death penalty and preserve its long-standing positive record on shunning this cruel and irreversible punishment, unquote. It also emphasized, quote, the government must immediately halt plans to carry out any execution, commute all death sentences, and establish an official moratorium on the implementation of the death penalty as a first step towards its full abolition, unquote. In the meantime, the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka, too, through a letter to the President, urged him to do away with the decision to re-implement capital punishment and instead implement a series of strong and long-term policies, including strengthening of institutions and procedures aimed at addressing serious crimes, including drug trafficking.